So, what is personal data analyzer? How does it work? Well, let me answer this question using an example. Around 2 months ago, I read a book of about 250 pages. I read it in like one day, but after 1 week and a half, I forgot a point about it. A sentence in the book, an important point that was mentioned. So, I searched all the book and I read all the pages again. And after some hours, I finally found what I want, but my time was wasted. So I thought, what if there was a robot? There was a technology that can do this for me. And I came up with the idea of PDA, the Personal Data Analyzer. Well, how does PDA work? PDA has 3 main steps. Step 1, data entry, where the data from the end user is given to the machine. The second step, data analysis, is where the data gets analyzed. And the third step is where PDA is ready to answer the questions. Data analysis. When I say data analysis in our daily life, mostly we think of charts, a normal pie chart or even a bar chart. But in the world of technology, data analysis is a different thing. Data analysis is the analyzation of any type of data. It can be a chart, a normal English text, or even an image. All are analyzable using data now, using AI nowadays. Well, why is this step so important? The second and the most important step in the process that PDA does. Imagine a text of 100 words is given to the machine, and the text is analyzed, but it's not analyzed in the way that we want. The machine has a completely different point of view from the text and may answer the questions wrongly and give wrong answers to the questions. And it's not done precisely. So we are looking for the data to be analyzed accurately, and no mistakes should be made in this step. Well, you might ask, what's the use of data analyzer in this machine? The normal language that we all know computers know is the simple binary 0 and 1 language. And the text that we give this machine, the data that we give it, is probably an English text or an image or a chart. And the machine cannot understand it. Definitely, a machine cannot understand the language spoken by human beings. So, the machine has to translate it to the language that's understandable by the machine. And the language that the machine understands is the binary, the 0 and 1 language, is the language that in every machine and every computer is used. So, the data needs to be translated to the language of machine. Here we go for the third step. The final step is the step where the data is entered, data is analyzed completely, and the machine knows every point of the data, line by line, page by page, and even word by word. And here the machine is ready to answer any type of question asked about the data. It can be a number in the data, it can be a sentence, or anything in the data. And imagine if the data analysis step was done in a wrong way. Now the answers would differ from the actual answer that the end user is looking for. And the data has a different meaning for the machine than the user. Here there are many different ways for the conversation between the end user and the machine. Like we can use vocals. The person can talk to the machine and machine answers him or her. But the best way for this conversation is using a chatbot. A chat where one side of the chat is the end user, is the human who is sitting and asking questions. But the other part of the chat is done by the robot, the machine that knows the data and is aware of every word that's used in the data. You might now ask, so we have this technology, what's the use of it? Well, I first mentioned an example of a book. That's the simplest use of PDA. PDA has many use in big companies like Microsoft, Apple, Meta, and many other companies. For instance, imagine a medium-sized company with around 1,000 employees. This company hires about 20 people a month. And all these 20 people are new with this company and the laws of the company. First, the laws are explained to each of them. The manager explains us all the laws step by step. But they are also human beings. They can forget things. They might forget a point about the laws. A simple point, like when is the income paid? What time in the month is it paid? Well, instead of going and asking the manager, wasting the time of both the employee and the manager, PDA is here to give the answer to all the questions regarding the laws that were given to the machine previously. The PDA knows all the laws and is ready to answer as many questions as the employees want to ask PDA, and will answer them precisely and accurately. Well, you might now ask, is it available? Where can I use PDA? When? At what time? I can proudly say that PDA is available now, and it's working perfectly. But there are just some minor bugs in PDA, like for instance, the data is not analyzed with the accuracy of 100%, and there is a chance of a mistake in the analyzation of the data. And the beta version is now available, but the final version will be released in the middle of summer 2024. And it will be announced through the website of PDA or social medias, the way that people can install PDA, use the PDA, and give the data to the PDA. Here are my social medias, where you can contact me and ask whether how can we use PDA, where can we install it, and is it even available and released at the moment. Also, I want to thank Mr. Hari, the head of Research and Innovation Center, Mr. Jibo, the principal of the Tehran International School, and Ms. Karami, who helped me for making this presentation. Thank you.